guys, November 29th, 2022. This one here I got a call from a bakery. He's got a proof oven that's got a little steam boiler downstairs that's not running. He says the pilot won't come on. I don't think it's got a standing pilot. I think it's got electronic spark. But I might be mistaken. It might be a pilot. We'll go by there and see if we can figure out what's going on with it. I don't think the boiler's that old. It's probably maybe 4 or 5 years old, the boiler. A little steam boiler. It's for a little, like a proofing box. It just makes steam for this proofing box. That's all it does. We'll go figure out what's going on with it. See if we could get it going for the guy. He's got to make his bread. They make all kinds of bread and pastry there and shit, so. Had too much water in it. He's going to turn the thermostat on. Just fired up. He had too much water in it. It's not making steam. Kind of odd. Looks like this gas valve's been getting wet. I think that's what our problem is. Something's queer. See how this thing's been getting wet? See how this has been getting dumped? Water's been getting dumped on there. See it? Looks like it's running, but it's barely running. Like half the burn. No, that's just the pilot's on. Just the pilot's on. All right, let's see what's going on with it. This is open. Leaking right out that gasket. That's where that water's coming from, getting this gas valve all wet. See it? Alright, so we got the boiler off. We're going to get a new gasket for this. We'll get some new gaskets. Might have just popped out. We'll let it cool off for a bit. Alright, so I'm going to get a new gas valve and a new igniter for it. Seeing it's getting all wet. Alright, I'll tighten the nut up there and see what happens. What I did was I took my meter, I jumped out yellow and blue, and the gas valve fired right up. So this thing getting wet. See how this is all white? I think it's probably in this gas valve that's bad, or this controller. We're gonna get new one of both, seeing it was getting wet. We're gonna make some steam here and see if this thing starts leaking. It seems like that top, just had to tighten that top nut up. Seems to be okay now. Alright, So the leak stopped. I do have to get another gas valve. Seeing it's been going underwater. I don't know if this is bad. I might even have one of these flipping gas valves in the truck, to be honest with you. I should check. I think I do have one. I don't think it's this, but it's just the gas valve because it's been getting soaked. Alright, I got a gas valve out of the truck. We're going to change it. It's not leaking anymore, is it? No. This thing's not leaking, so let's change this gas valve. Glue's on the top. Just the opposite of that one. Yeah, you can see it's been getting wet there. See it? That red one. It's been getting wet. The glue's on the top like that. Yeah. 28204A. That should be the one. Half-inch in, half-inch out. That's the one right there we need. Shut the gas off. Alright, I got the gas off. We'll see if we could change this thing. Got one in the truck. I mean, why not use what I got, right? Call the dealer up for one. Gonna spank the shit out of me for it. This thing's a little crusty. I have to redo this. I'm not sure. I'm getting wet, not good. There's enough room here where if I have to cut another unit in, I can. Alright, gas is off. She's a crusty one, Mr. Grinch. She's a crusty one, Mr. Grinch. I think it's this gas valve, seeing it's been getting wet forever. Besides that, you can't leave it. If it's been getting wet, you have to change it. It's not safe. Not safe to leave it if it's been getting wet. Should never leave a gas valve. Once they get wet like that, they should always be changed. Just practice, good practice, not to safety-wise. Safety wise, it's not wise to leave it. He's a crusty one, Mr. Grinch. Let's see, it's been getting soaked. Not good. Put a little pipe dope on there. Gas valve's got to go in a certain way. There should be an arrow on it. Arrow. We'll put it in the right way. There's two kinds. There's a gas valve that's got standing pilot. This is the one with electronic spark. This one doesn't have a spot for a thermocouple like the other one would. Hello, can I help you?
Yeah, I got a steam boiler that's leaking.
Oh yeah, did you get the parts or what?
Well, I got the gas valve. The igniter, I don't see anything. I don't have it. I don't have the igniter.
You don't? Well, I grabbed the gas valve out of the truck. I got one that I had in the truck. So I'm gonna put that one in there. So you don't have the igniter.
I don't.
You don't have a retrofit for that, or what? What's the cross?
I'm looking at that parts breakdown. I didn't even show an igniter. It shows igniter and cable.
Not the igniter. I mean the box, the spark box.
Yeah, you want a module?
Yeah. You want me to send you a picture of it?
Nope. Hold on a minute.
What happened was the steam place where you could see the steam and the sight glass was leaking, so it soaked the shit out of the gas valve. So I'm gonna change the gas valve. I think that's what the problem was, the gas valve. Let me try that, and I'll take a picture of it.
4829. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, it looks like they're out of stock on that.
You're out of stock.
Yeah.
So what's if I do need one? How far are we away?
I mean, we'd have to call them and see. I can give you a part number.
They don't have any in the warehouse?
What's that?
They don't have any in the warehouse?
No, sir.
Alright, let me try this gas valve because it was soaking wet. I fixed the leak. I got that going. If it's still a problem, I'll call you back. We'll get into it deeper.
You got it, bud.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah.
Hey, bye.
Well, they don't even have it, so, and there's no cross for it, supposedly, so, we'll see if this works. If that don't work, we're hoping. We're hoping. Keep our fingers crossed. Let's hope that takes care of it. Hopefully I could spin this thing in here. Seems to be an issue. Hope not. Hope that's good. We'll turn the gas on, we'll check the gas pressure. Looks like we got a bad connection there on them wires or something. She's shut off. That red one is that bottom one. I bet you that gas valve was a problem. Alright, we got 26 on the pilot, which the pilot's on. So then we should have 26 on the yellow and we don't. That's our problem. The control's bad. Don't have 26. Make sure our ground's good too. Sometimes the ground's not good. So fired up that time. Make sure we get a good ground. Got a bad control there. Got a bad control. The ground's good. Nothing. The pilot valve, but the main valve don't come on. Volt, and then that should be 27. So we got 27 coming down. We got 27 coming down, but we got no power coming out of this thing. Gas valve, main valve. We got no voltage coming out of this thing, so this control is definitely bad. The gas valve, and I gotta get this control. I called the supply house, they're working on trying to get one for me. That control's bad for sure. So we gotta get that, we're gonna come back and finish it. I did take the burner assembly apart, I did clean that really good. That spark igniter is not the problem. The ground's good on it. I was getting power down to the pilot, which is the blue and the yellow. I was getting power and the pilot was coming on, but I wasn't getting no power between yellow and red. I did one time and then couldn't get it any other time. So there should be power going to PV, which is the pilot valve, and then after a certain amount of time the MV, which is the yellow and red, that should fire, and it's not. So this control, and I got power coming down between black and red. I got 24 volts, and then this green is the ground that goes to the sparker, and that's nice and tight. So this control's bad. We'll get another one. Alright guys, I talked to the guy at the supply house. He called New Yorker. And that control that I had is the cross that they use for replacing that original one. So I'm going back. The one I had in the truck's the most popular, and that's the one I need supposedly to work on that unit. So we're gonna go try it. This one's got a vent damper connection, and supposedly, as long as you don't plug the vent damper connection in when you first start it, it's gonna be okay. It'll work without it, supposedly. So we're gonna find out. So this is S861OU. This is the one. This is the universal one. I had this in my truck for a while, actually. S861OU, universal. As long as you don't plug that. This steam boiler doesn't have the damper plugged into here. It's wired in directly. As long as you don't plug it in when you start it up, put power to it, supposedly you don't need it. So we'll find out. If we do this, them three top ones are the same. I just gotta make sure these other ones are, supposedly this is the one. We got the spark. This is supposed to be the one we need, so let's see. I got the power off through it, so. I guess the only place that has these in stock is at supplyhouse.com. My favorite place I usually deal with, but I mean, I could get it if I had to order it through them. I can get it tomorrow. This guy needs this thing. This guy usually starts using this thing 3 o'clock in the morning, so if I can get it done today for him, it's better for him. So here I am, back at it. Never a dull moment, that's all I can say. Good customers, you take care of them. That's all I say. Got a good customer, and go out of your way to make it right for the guy. That's my motto. Alright, so we got the spark goes there. Alright. MV. These three should be the same, the three top ones. And we got 24 volt coming in. Alright, so I had to hook it up to the THW, which is a 24 volt in. And then that 24V is to power the damper, which I'm not using because the damper is wired in directly from here. So she fired up. Now I just got to put the manometer on there and check the gas pressure. Shut the gas off now. We'll check our gas pressure. Check our gas pressure, make sure that's good. But I think I seen it last time, it was a little on the high side. Oh, we're gonna have to get it straightened out before we leave here. We want to set this thing at 3.5 on the gas. Makes it easier to access. We'll fire it back up and we'll check our gas pressure. Units, want to make sure we're on the right thing here. Units. Inches of water column, that's what we want. Zero it out. That's what we want on number 1. That's it. Let's fire it back up. We'll check it. That on there. And it's on a little delay. We'll fire it up. We'll check it. We're at 3.8. You see that? 3.8. I'm gonna come down to 3.5. It's right here, we got to adjust it. Just back that out a little bit and I should drop it. Right there, 3.5, can you see it? .35, that's what we want right there. Don't take much. Alright, we got it off. I'm just gonna put our gas back together here and it's always good to make one of these little adapters so you don't have to fight it. Nobody wants to be fighting. No fun to be fighting all the time. I don't like it. Peace and quiet. You want to work. You want to work in a way where it's easy. Something's dripping over there, I can hear it. Alright, should be able to fire it back up again. Yeah, leaker. Yeah, leaker. Something's leaking up there. Something's leaking. There we go. Tightened up the gasket there. That's what was flooding the gas valve. We had to change that because that was all wet, getting really wet. So we changed the gas valve and we put a new spark control on there. New gas valve, new spark controller, tightened up sight glass gasket. I think that's where he shuts it off right there. Everything else is the proofer where they make all kinds of, see the steam unit up top? It's a proofer. They make all kinds of bread in here or something. They roll stuff in here in a giant proof box. That's what they need the steam for, I guess.